Welcome back to Amnesia, Tenebris Lake, part 4, as far as I think. I don't know. Yeah. Oh yeah, we were in the tunnels of doom. And it collapsed behind me, as far as I know. Here's a note here. Since when did you light up? The thing suddenly lit up. Wait a minute. Did I not come from here? I need some health. There we are. I wish you could... Yeah, I think... Yeah, Huh? I'm sure I didn't come from that place. Ah, yeah. Okay, I think this is also a place we could go to as far as I can remember. And there is a torch in the ground. Wow. It defies physics. Amazing. Okay, so a hammer. We need that hammer. Torches that defy physics, huh? Can light one. Oh, amazing. And a hellhole to the void down there. Yeah. Nothing will ever come out of this place, of that hole. No. The only thing I still... Excuse me! This is the... This is... Help. 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 This is almost... This is, I think, the only custom story ever made that has those crawling things that can hunt you. Alright, he seems to be gone. It's amazing. I can't go here. I have to retreat. That's something new here. I've never seen another custom story that had crawly things that could crawl to you in tunnels. Could be gone. Has to be another way, right? Like, I have this hammer. I need the chipper still, but I know which area I can find it. I guess it's here. Guess it's this way. Yeah, okay, that's sealed. Alright. I don't think I can go there. Can I? Oh, I can. Interesting. Wouldn't have expected that. Wait a minute. No. This is another place. For a moment I thought this was the same place again. Huh. I actually have never been here. This is something completely new for me. This is strange. I actually have never discovered this place ever before in Tenebris Lake. Better. It doesn't even have anything. I don't think you have to go up there. But a ladder? Yeah, I've never. Oh, okay. Whoa! Amazing. I've never been to this place before. You picked up a ladder in order to be able to go back. Whoa! That's just mind-blowing. So if that was it, interesting. Found something new about the custom story. I've played 4 times already, and I've seen already also a couple of times by other custom story players. That's interesting. Alright. Came from there. Now let's go here. Ah, yeah. This is the place to be, but I want to check this out first. Nothing. Okay. Now, we need that. Give it zu mir. Dankeschön. Oil. Yes. Alright, so we just have to wait until he comes around and then we can just sprint for it. Fuck. You do hear him, but okay, let's go. Let's go, boys. Okay. Easy. Oh yeah, there's the stone. What do you mean the combination doesn't work? Alright, you go down there, stone. Oh, my mouse almost fell. Life is... oh yeah, I already said this. It has reoccurring loading screen quotes. Ah well. Radio. Alright. The whole...
Is there anyone there?
The choice, chapter 7.
Who's there?
Edward? Is that you?
Who are you? Are you my wife?
Yes? Don't you remember?
No. I don't remember anything.
Hurry! You must get us out of here. The kids are in the other set.
I'm gonna go find something to get you out of here.
In all fairness, I really never liked this ending of the custom story. But anyway, chapters, huh? Eventually it had 7 chapters. I'm in this Discord. Ooh, look at that. I'm in this Discord group with several new developers. One of them is HappyMat12345 with Order of the Skull, and you have also other custom story developers in that Discord. Sorry about this sudden cut. I got actually extremely confused because, as I was saying, I was talking about I'm in a Discord server with several developers, which are developing a custom story, and they all look amazing. Like you have, for example, already the Order of the Skull by HappyMat12345, and then you have also the Secret Tunnels of Abraham, if I'm correct. Let me just double check. I have the ModDB page here. Yeah, the Forbidden Tunnels of Abrahams by Alien from a Realm. And you also have, since this person has another name on Discord than in ModDB, so I had to research his name on ModDB. So from Blix096 you'll have eventually also Amnesia, Sorrow Past, which is, they all look amazing. They all have assets from at least I think both the custom story from Alien from a Realm and from Blix096 have assets from a Machine for Pigs, and in my opinion assets from a Machine for Pigs are much better and much more aesthetically pleasing than assets from The Dark Descent. And the one I already showed two demos from Out of the Skull. They both looked amazing, and I think the story of Out of the Skull is very nice. It is like well, how can I?
There's only one dynamite. One of them lying about being my family. Maybe they're gonna need that to get out of this place. Maybe I should just leave and save myself.
The problem is I can't save, and to do all the endings I have to redo most of it, but it is Tenebris Lake, so I am sure that everyone knows already all the endings because it's a very known custom story. But as I was saying, so the story of Out of the Skull is, you know, kinda the Great Walk-esque, you know. It's based on the Great Walk with you know, certain elements of the cult and such, but it's gonna be an original piece of work, I assure you that, and the others as well. Yeah, they make those really nice like light effects with blue light. If you want to, oh yeah, oh, I guess I have to run. But if you want to see the custom stories out, check them out, and the development and the screenshots. If you want to check the screenshots out from the other custom stories of Alien from the Past and Blix096, then I will link the ModDB pages down in the description. You can go to the ModDB page and, you know, see what I'm talking about. They look really nice, the screenshots of both custom stories. I'm gonna save myself. Screw you. Bye.
I left the dungeon without even knowing if they were my real family or not. But I guess it doesn't matter, since I have no memory of my family. I traveled to England in the hope of starting a new life. I never returned to Tenebris Lake, but someday I will.
Okay. So that was Tenebris Lake by Boris Game Studios. Another thing is that the Sorrow Past, the custom story from Blix096, is gonna have a demo in, I think, April. So I'm definitely going to play the demo. That's for sure. I know that Out of the Skull is gonna have like 8 or more chapters of like relatively long length, so that's gonna be great. And the Forbidden Tunnels of Abraham, yeah, it's gonna have, well, custom entities, aesthetic objects. It's gonna be great. And I think, yeah, I think the developer also said to me that in the Forbidden Tunnels of Abraham, it's gonna have also chapters, and each chapter, or maybe not chapters, but also just each level is gonna have a different custom entity, like a custom monster. So that's gonna be very amazing. So each chapter will have a different monster to deal with. But anyway, I'm gonna link those down in the description, and you can check the custom stories out by themselves. Of course, I already have played Out of the Skull, so you can also see the demo, the 2 demos actually, from Happy Met 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on my channel already. But Amnesia, Sorrow Past, and the Secret Tunnels of Abrahams, I will link down in the description. You can see for yourself. They look both amazing. As far as I'm concerned, Sorrow Past is gonna be a full conversion as well, and he's going to use assets from both Reminiscity, which made Amadeus, and Slenderous. So it's gonna be really aesthetically pleasing. But anyway, up to the other custom story, because I only played like for 10-15 minutes. But that was the ending of Tenebris Lake. But I have to get out of Tenebris Lake because I need to fire up the normal Amnesia to play the request of, well, to continue playing the request of Astitude. Yeah. Of Forgot the name of the custom story. That's about France. Yeah, a Slaves Masquerade. Let's continue the Slaves Masquerade. I'm not sure how long a Slaves Masquerade is. And oh yeah, another thing. After this I'm gonna play a request from Zaya, which is gonna be the Lightning Shadow, chapter 1 and 2. And if you're listening to this Porsche 911, you made quite a couple of requests for me. Which one of those requests do you want to see the most? So if you could comment that down below to, you know, which of these custom stories do you like to see the most, and I will play that either after this custom story finishes or after the request of Zaya. Thank you. What were we doing? Having no lantern, that's what we were doing. We have to deal with no lantern as of now. Alright. We're in the middle of the French Revolution. Underground maintenance 1 out of 2. They keep reminding us about those tubings, which are meant to maintain, especially Frederick, who is upset because of the slave evolving. They mean revolving, right? If imitating is necessary, he said something like, "This mayhem is unstoppable without an escape route. That's why we need to finish what those savages started. Construct the gates machinery before the pervading of our enemies." Pervading? Or whatever. There's not much time left, but cleaning and removing the clogs should be necessary. So, as far as I'm concerned, I now play the Slaves Masquerade, and tomorrow I will start the Lightning Shadow, as requested by Zaya. Well, on Discord his name is Zaya, but I'm not sure what his name is on ModDB. This is like a brander, like I journey to Rousseau. My name is Jean, Mr. Frederick's therapist. He was a conventional patient as long as I could remember. Nothing unusual wasn't going on with him. So, like, everything was unusual about him. He was a member of a religious order, mentally very approbative and adherent to the female chauvinism. Which is very strange, although he hasn't a family or a wife. He lived in a small town in eastern France. Everything seemed to be okay with him until he had some terrible rumors about his suicidal behavior. When he spends his time at the church or public places, he acts normally. But some people have seen how he injects and cuts himself. All of the witnesses believe that he is a masochist. But for what I've seen and heard, rather he could be a picarist. The man who enjoys injecting himself with sharp items. I felt like he lives like anybody else, but this changed my mind. It's challenging to provide an explanation for it. At his home, with his blood, he wrote on the wall, "I'm not dying. This is for someone else." Apparently he knew that there were people spying on him. Oh boy. I didn't fear for his suicide possibility after he received an envelope from someone. For once he looked very happy and curious, as if he knew who sent it. Before he left, he wrote on the wall, she's waiting for me." This spying on Frederick Mumbo Jumbo is getting more and more eerie day by day, especially for now. Who is she? I had no choice instead of following him again. I took my horse and started the journey, which turned out to be longer than I could ever imagine. He was heading to western France. Well, going from eastern France to western France is not extremely long. Of course, I know in today's standards it's not long. But, you know, at that time it could be longer, but come on, longer than I could ever imagine. I would think going from France to Russia in that time is longer than anyone could ever imagine. He was heading to western France. Oh yeah, okay. To the church and chateau of Tivaux. Tivaux. Yeah, Tivaux. I managed to find it out just before we got there. Only trouble was that simultaneously there was a battle going in between the French Republican troops and the royalists of Tifogor. Near Tifogor. Yeah, well. Luckily, names, am I right? Luckily, Frederick and his friends tried to avoid as much as I wanted to. There were two other couriers waiting for him before he got to the hidden destination. They gave him a new route to the northwest, and I felt myself so tired already. For some reason, Frederick still felt like really excited. He wasn't exhausted at all, nor his horse. The whole trip from eastern France to here took almost forever, but I finally saw the gloomy castle from far away, surrounded by a large forest. I didn't expect it, but apparently our journey was finally over, and Frederick speeded up. I still tried to stay with him, no matter how tired I was. At the gates of the castle, he left his horse and entered when the gates opened. I tried to stay hidden, but the two guardians at the gates saw me. I had to figure out what kind of explanation I have for the shading. I didn't have to lie after all. I'm just a doctor who wants to take care of his patient. The guardians let me in, claiming there is some medical equipment in the downstairs, if we need to medicate him for some reason. I didn't understand why they thought so, because I didn't mention that Frederick could be sick. They proved to be lies, as expected. They left me here to die, and there's something strange in the water. Okay then. Whatever. Excuse me? There's something strange in the water, huh? That was so scary. Right, okay, so what is the purpose of this place? This custom story has a lot of text, a lot of story. I don't mind it that much. It's just, oh wait, maybe I can find water in here, but for the rest, I don't know. I don't seem to. There don't seem to be anything here that is obtainable or needed for some sort of quest. Excuse me. Alright then. Okay, I can still go this way. Let's go this way. More water. I see. More water. So that earlier was just a taste of what to come, what could come. Oh, yeah, of what to come. I'm gonna smack you with this hammer, because this kind of sucks. Okay. I kinda expected that already. Because how else could I escape? Having incredibly dodging skills, of course, like me. Alright, so I did come from that place. Stop complaining. Oh yeah, I've been here already. Now I have to go down this eerie, dark place. I don't have my lantern yet. Did I even had a lantern in this custom story at all, or this? Wait a minute. There's a chip there. What? That part of this place here looked like exactly like another custom story. I don't know the name of the custom story, but I am sure it was some sort of jump scare custom story. I did play it once or twice, I think. I can't remember the name, but it had this really quick grunt that has been thrown into your face. So this grunt would like launch at you. You know, then he of course disappeared, but That was the scare, but it's the custom story that has that thing. He's there. And it had the exact same, like, bookcase like that. And that corridor there was the exact same. Why do you spawn on a box? And yeah, it had the exact same, like, door here. Whoop. Nope. Ooh, that was a close one. Oh! He's there. Ha! No, he doesn't see me. Yeah, exactly the same as another custom story. And it has down here, like, it had down here, it goes down. Yeah, and now it's kind of different again. But it used the same kind of area. This area has been used also in another custom story. And I'm certain of that. The one that has that really fast grunt thrown into your face. Basic Plane also played that custom story. Call of Gabriel, autumn 1796. My name is Henriette, the priest of the Hamlet's church. As everyone already knows, this little village is not so immaculate than it feels like. When the revolution rose amongst us, the countess with her league settled down in the abandoned castle and kept calm because of the aristocracy kindred. I thought. But the real disaster was newly rising when we found out when we found their remains too late. Okay, it's their remains, you know, their bodies. And one day Gabrielle came to our village and she looked like a very friendly, but I had my doubts. I managed to escape from the church, so she didn't see me at all during her visit. After the sun set, I would keep my eyes on her, but without noticing anything unusual though. She spent her time in the church, sitting on the pew, monologuing, repeating herself just like a mantra. Suddenly, 2 nuns arrived to the church. Oh. The countess smiled for some reason, and she asked them to join her. The very next event was unexpected. She asked them to take their clothes off. Oh. All day they obeyed her without objections. First, I thought it was just trickery, but she had sex with the 2 nuns on the church shrine. She strangled them at the same time. There was something strange going on too. The forest ranger looked at the castle towards and seemed like very frightened. When I was looking at him, he started to run away, heading to the woods. He screamed for help and the villagers woke up. The nuns in the church heard it too. The very first ambush had begun. Gabrielle stood up from the shrine and away late. She took a knife, cut their throats and watched them as they bleeded out. I must admit, she could be a little bit sadistic. But she's definitely the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. I prefer to call her the seducer. Alrighty then. But anyway, the other custom story I was talking about would also have those 2, like this T-split, a door there, and it would go a little bit further here, and then it would go down into some sort of like penumbra-esque place, like with like a generator and a computer and such. I think that seems to be more progress than this place. I sometimes judge the look of the places live. Okay, like if I go here, would that really progress me? Like, would that? So I have to backtrack eventually. So I prefer to backtrack as few as possible. So I always decide which place looks like it has the least, you know, content or least progress. I really don't want to do this, to be honest. Oh boy. And so I shall. Gabriel's mementos. Everyone has their own stories, just like I had. But this little fairy tale is going to change the whole of France. In my past, I had a normal life in Poland with my former husband, the Count of Poitou. In 1788, before Christmas, he wanted us to move to Germany during my pregnancy. We had a wedding on the French-German border in the following spring. When our child born early in 1789, I tried to take care of it. After the shocking news, our baby girl had a congenital heart defect, and she suffered by poor circulation of blood and asphyxia. Eventually, she died and changed my whole world. My husband didn't even notice it though. He felt so different, and he didn't care about me anymore. Managed to find out his secret. He has assembled. When he assembled with 2 women and 2 dogs in the woods, he had a sodomy and zoophilia fixation, and that nature was revealed when I found him having sex with those partners. We still met periodically, and he just kept talking about the so-called wedding. I'm waiting for the moment too, because I have a special surprise for him. 1st of May 1789. Our celebration was an excellent auspicious instant to give him a chance to taste his own medicine. Before the guests arrived and we were waiting in the mansion, I asked Henriette to come to our bedroom by claiming that there is something to talk about. Next, when he entered in the bedroom and sat in bed, I closed the door, I took the wine bottle without his noticing and hit him with it. Then he collapsed in the bed. I dug his tongue from his mouth with the pliers. I waited for the moment when he waked up again, before I penetrated his tongue with the pliers. He started to mumble, but I wasn't finished. Next, I got his eyes out. I'm not going to give you every detail in my diary, but I will tell you it was fun and satisfying. I escaped from the mansion when I was heading to France. When I was passing through the fright forest, in the middle of nowhere, I arrived to a foggy hamlet, where the 2 men were surprised to see a disoriented forager. They asked me to join with them in the hut. They tended some food and drink. I haven't been on my trip very long, but entertaining was enchanting. I think? Okay. Oh, the English, I swear to God. Maybe Google Translate, who knows. I was pondering for a moment. I still have not a destination, any place to go. Suddenly one of those hospital men started to tell me about the abandoned and very odd castle, which is escalating across the forest. The story proved very interesting. As I asked him to guide me there, I could stay in there the rest of my life without any worries or contribution. Or I mentally research really. I knew that I have some reason to live, and there is definitely something interesting going to be in the castle. Our voyage took quite some time. Even I saw the towers escalating over the trees. The men were indefatigable and just kept going, so I did. They took me to the destination but returned right away. I didn't care because they already had done the job. The castle gate was rusted, but it opened easily. It wasn't very hard to understand that there is no other opportunity like this. Soon I realized that this castle was little more than too large and polymorphous for my lonely life. After, when I nested, I decided to acquire some servants. some Minecraft servers, yeah, to play Minecraft. Okay. And employees to breed a garden around breed a garden. Okay, fair enough. Breed a garden around the castle. Anyone who could be contented for the ornaments, kind of that, but these things aren't something that I was looking for. The place feels strange for some reason. Might be originated by me, but normal living in a place like this is wasting, if you ask me. I've studied the maps of those secretive underground corridors, and one of them roused my interest. The layout was called a labyrinth, some kind of maze below the castle. A journey to the downstairs was something unexpected, because there was too many of these underground passages, more than in the property structure. My servants recommended me to find a suitable route with the map, so I decided to do so. And soon I found the latest invention of Francesco Rousseau in his diary. I assume he was exultant when he designed the gate, which is hiding something behind it, but it's unable to open. Wow. Okay. The thirst. Ah. All right. Oh boy. Okay. So, I opened this door. For what reason? I hear steam from somewhere. Oh. Anyway, do you think I have to be up there? That might be the case, but I'm not sure. No, the quickest way to get up there is to just jump on these. The wine storage thingies. I just need... Okay, actually I can perhaps see if there's something here. Because why should I have to... Why make me assemble the hammer and chipper to get here in order to find just one bloody note? That won't make any sense. So there has to be here something, or else I am really... It's really weird. Come on. I mean, why would you make the player assemble the hammer and chipper in order to unlock this fucking place? Ow. And just to find one note. One note. Here you go. Wow. Wow, one note. Although I don't think there seemed to be anything here, and I get launched. Oh boy. You know what? Forget it. This place sucks. Come on. I highly doubt there was only one note and that's it. There will be a huge waste of space and time and resources. The hammer and chipper, for example. Still have them in my inventory. So that's one thing. Maybe this place was something extra after all. I don't know. Anyway, okay. Ow. Doors that slam into your face once you open them. Amazing doors. Nope. Nope. I was stuck there for a moment. Hello there, note. The first failure. This is probably the most frustrating day so far. They have been working with this machine project for many years now, but the significance of the issue is apparently beyond the slaves' understanding. The gate of the labyrinth is still staying put. They get tired of that idling. And there's only one single conclusion for this, as always: killing time. To the catacomb. There are rumors about how exciting the burial chamber could possibly be. All of the villagers' savers were dead, the slaves descended again. Could there be any escape route? The two exhausted slaves were brainwashed and refused to believe that. When an ethereal countess gave them a knife and asked them to kill themselves. Okay. I find the story a little bit weird, though. A little bit off. I mean, can I go back? No, I can't go back. So, was the whole place with the suits are just also just an addition, like nothing to be done there than just to trigger the suitor. Anyway, I think we missed one Journal of Frederick, unfortunately. Well, whatever. There's nothing I can do about it anymore. February 1800. Oh, sorry about that. There's only two of us left, Gabrielle and me. Her league was totally shrank and destroyed by her own will. The purpose of this inhumane disaster was that there weren't any reasons to keep them alive any longer. They had done their part. Oddly, there weren't any capital punishments for them. Gabrielle just asked them to kill themselves. The servants and the bodyguards thanked her for the last time and fulfilled her will. Unlike me, their destiny was settled. By the way, I'm not very confident either. Wandering around here is more dangerous than ever. It's getting worse day by day, but before my inevitable death, I want to escape with my love. This is not the first time when something bad happens in here. In fact, the castle has a mysterious history. A few days ago, I found a book in the gallery. The former householder's life had been written on it pretty clearly. The Rousseaus wanted to invent a machinery which would open a labyrinth's gate, but there wasn't enough time anymore. He was also an astrologist and the investigator of paranormal activities. He believed in demons and that he has a twin who told him about the succubus-like woman who will come here when 340 years has passed. The demon of Rousseau assured him that he is able to be reborn and serve her when the time comes, but not until he kills himself first. Okay then. Gullible people, am I right? More text. The Slaughter Complex, 16th of October. I'm Joanna, wench in Gabriel Castle. What do you do for your job? I'm a wench. Okay. My life is so shattered. What is this doe doing here? I thought maiming the slaves would be enough, but no. The abbetta of my Countess Frederick told me they are going to ambush the arriving villages and slay all of them. The servants are hiding in the catacomb prepared for the upcoming. Because of the delusion, they were waiting with rifles and axes. It was unexpected that Charles came along. Therefore, he carried a sword and a pistol with him, but there wasn't enough opposition with them. One of the lurkers was already, and he shot him in the leg. They imprisoned him. 17th of October. I was so sorry for Charles. I wanted to help him, but I couldn't. Gabrielle was excited, by the way. She was prepared for this moment since the first time when she heard about the rescuers from the village. In the burning room, Charles rested on a stone table, while two servants stood next to him. They asked me to come in too, because they knew I was the only person who actually liked Charles. I felt disgusted, but I admitted. Charles had given up hope and said, "Just kill me already." I tried to reassure him until our countess appeared and wanted us to leave at once. The servants left, but I decided to stay behind the door and listen instead of leaving. Gabrielle started her speech. "Finally, poor Charles, you lost, naturally, but I'm glad you were so tough. You really know how to make my day." Charles didn't say anything, but then my countess did something. She started to scratch his neck and ripped his throat with her fingernails. Charles screamed, but Gabrielle reassured him. "Don't try to oppose me again, dear. This is over soon." Charles struggled, but finally perished. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna be honest. My opinion of the story is subpar. It doesn't make any sense. Well... Ooh, scary. There's an actual suitor here. Who would have guessed? More. An uncommon execution. These slaughter reinforcements are not uncommon procedure in here, but it was the first time when the servants brought a countless wench. She suffered from malnutrition and she also tried to kill herself. She kept saying about that our position has ruined her whole life. She tried to warn us about the dawn of the slaughtered slaves and the other end of world's illusions. Appeasing didn't work. She had declined into a coma, swallowed by fear and aghast. Funds throughout her body, and so our conclusion was to stop it. To end her days by using the ancient head to crush table. The last was before the death where the labyrinth will collapse. That sounded like a little far-fetched, but we just kept going. Suddenly on the same event, part of the underground maze collapsed. How did she know? A wench, Joanna, I mean. An odd soothsayer. It's really... Alright, I'm actually really tired of narrating. I will show it on the screen. Oh well, never mind. I'm very sorry, but I'm really tired of narrating all the stories. Goodbye. Oh no, actually hello. That was the wrong word. Alright then. You went that way. Let's see what this place is. Actually no, you went this way again. Okay. Let's go this way then. Ouch. Ow. Why actually did I do that? Prison section key. That's bad. Sure, you will not be able to find me here. Prison section key, huh? Other side of the catacomb. Okay. Boom, boom. Yeah, I think he's gone. Let's check this place out first. What's that? Oh. It's a candle. More. Dinner with Gabrielle. The sign was to represent my true love. Since the very first moment when I saw her, I was falling in love. Last evening I received notification from the one of the servants. It was pretty simple. Dinner at the gallery with Gabrielle. While we were eating, she wanted to discuss the strange incidents at the labyrinth. In principle, I know everything about those occult onsets. The dysfunction of the machinery revealed when ancient pseudo-layouts were found. Radically transformated human beings are roaming the labyrinth, raised by the living machine. My sweet queen wasn't panicky, conversely. She simply said maybe it's time to slay all of them and fix that machine. What do you say, dear? Hell yeah, boy. Okay, I'll actually go. Alright then. I guess that's that. I mean, I do understand the story, but it's just... It's not a really interesting story for that matter. It digresses sometimes too much, in my opinion. Yeah, you can pause the video there and read what was said there. What am I doing? What's going on? Okay, enough of that. Can I glitch it out? Okay. Of course. The condemnation of Hope. Approximately 4 days ago, I had some news about the priest and a young girl from the village who had managed to break into the castle, and were looking for the way to save us. Sadly, our poor priest got caught and got killed too, I heard. But yesterday, the Swilker came to us, and I thought this could be our chance. She was probably 9 or 10 years, but very energetic though. Without the keys, she wasn't able to do anything for us. Last, the guardian of the area knew that she was there, and he was spying on her. The prisoner yelled when he grabbed that girl and beat her up. He peeled her off the smoke, and in front of my cell. The girl screamed for help, and he rent her hair. So he took a hammer and hit her with it. When she carried it on the floor in pain, he hit her over and over again and smashed her head. I saw red. I tried to grab him from behind the bars. He looked like happy, but he said, "I think she's no longer going to help you." Okay, so this boss was coming. He's actually still coming. And to be honest, this developer made the story a little bit over the top gory, which in a long sense gets a bit tiresome. A good story, a good horror story doesn't mean it has to be always gory. Like, for example, take Shadow of the Ramlord. That was a good Lovecraftian horror story and didn't use all too much gore. It's all about, story. No, of course it's all about storytelling, but there are several ways you can escape a story, of course. One of them is doing it with gore. For example, Saw. Saw is a gory horror film. Yeah. But you also have horror films like The Shining. And people tend to like The Shining more because The Shining is more like... it's more subtle, sometimes subtle is better than just, oh, he did this, he did that, oh, they sawed her in half, oh, wow, blood everywhere. But is that true horror? True horror is the horror of the unknown, right? Like Lovecraftian horror. Some people would even claim that Saw is not really a horror film. Just stop with that, please. Come and get me, boy. Come and get me. You have to go through this way. Here is the opening. Here. What were you supposed to do in the first place? Ooh. Miss. Oh, he opened this. So yeah, if you would ask people, okay, which horror story is better, Saw or The Shining? Like 9 out of 10 people would say The Shining, of course, because it doesn't more subtle. It just gets into your subconscious more rather than consciously seeing blood. Whoa. The Final Mask, December 1799. After all these years, the French Revolution finally expired. Okay, I didn't know if the French Revolution had expiry date. Used by 1700. Okay, no, never mind. The 4-year Directoire capsized by the General Napoleon Bonaparte in the 9th of November, and the king was executed. Some of the enemies of the aristocracy had some information about this place. They believed in theodicy and had an opponent of an early life, as known as Gabrielle, who pretended to be a supreme herself. Okay, a supreme herself. She wears only supreme and has a supreme chrome bar. They didn't know about our countess, but they had heard about the kidnappings and enslavings. And as expected, one day 4 French Republican soldiers came across the forest and knocked on the castle's gate. I was worried at first, but Gabriel had a plan already, as always. Alright, here we go again. She put on a red dress and took her mask as proof of her invented mask. All the others stayed hidden, but she claimed that the ballroom is full of guests and asked the men to join her banquet. Soldiers were supposed to see this tall bell, but refused to join the party and wanted to search the whole castle and kill all the aristocrats. Gabriel let them in, but the servants were ready to kill them instead of that they will get killed. Gabriel guided the soldiers into the ballroom. When they noticed its emptiness and soon the servants came from their hideouts with the machetes, soldiers turned around and Gabriel started talking. When the time comes, you will learn that the death is the best thing in the world and it can really turn me on. You can kill yourself or you can be killed. Choose the first one and there's something good waiting for you on the other side. 3 of the soldiers tried to take their weapons, but the servants behind them attacked and killed them. The last and the youngest one didn't do anything. He looked her in the eyes and her crimson dress. He knew what Gabriel wanted him to do. Suicidal behavior seized him. He took the pistol and shot himself in the mouth. Gabriel licked up his nape and were the bug executed. Later the soldiers were buried in a sepulchre. When there is already 40 bodies in the grave, victims of Gabriel's suicide circle. Also a paramour on the right hand, Frederick is the only one who is safe. There is someone who is looking for the servants and making sure that we will kill ourselves when the time comes. So, who will kill us if we don't fulfill our task? Okay. In my opinion, the custom story developed is like wannabe try hard. Oh, I want to make a good, you know, gory story, like a wannabe. Sorry, but I would give this. The custom story itself is scary. It's good. You know, the mapping, the environments, the monsters, encounters, it's scary, but the story is just abysmal. It's just really annoying. And that's my opinion. Hello there. Alright. I'm actually on this point that I really don't want to read the story anymore. I mean, the custom story still itself is enjoyable to play. It has many monster encounters and that's really enjoyable. But the story, not really enjoyable. To the labyrinth. But yeah, for the rest, I really like the way the custom story is made. Although sometimes also like those empty rooms with just one note. Nah, it's not really necessary. But anyway, what will we find in the labyrinth? We'll see that in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next episode. Cheers.